Alright, here we go with a little bit of real talk, and today I'm going to be talking about training. So, more than a month ago, about let's call it 5 and a bit weeks ago, I ran a PB half marathon in Durban on the beachfront, and I ran a 1:44, I think, with my previous best being 1:50 in 2015 or 16, somewhere around there. So I've been training with my colleague Gareth Ford from Activate Endurance we're heading towards, I think, our 5th or 6th month, and since I thought I was in shape for the half marathon after running a PB, my actual goal for that training block was the Kloof Trail 21, but that coincided when I was doing a work trip. We had a T20 knockout and I was away for a week, so I ran my PB half marathon, travel for a week, barely do much running during my trip, do a smidge of running after the trip, but at best I'm maintaining. Then I decide there was the Kloof Classic the weekend after we got back, and I decided to have a crack at this with one of my players, Keith Dudgeon, and I grossly overestimated that I would retain my fitness levels from that PB half marathon to a half marathon off-road, and I absolutely suffered. But the interesting thing, and this is the whole point of the video, chatting a little bit more about exercise physiology, the interesting thing was that when I reviewed my data, my heart rate zones, I ran the whole 21, obviously off-road, profile completely different, I think we did about 400 meters of climbing. I did the whole run sort of zone 2, zone 3 heart rate, which is a lot of what my coach puts in for me. But I think my biggest lack, or what actually diminished in that time for my performance to suffer, was actually more my central nervous system. So my drive, my leg speed, my power, my ground reaction force. I think that's what really diminished in that period, right? So it throws me off track because I'm broken for like the week after. My training's a little bit wobbly. I've just about got my training back on track now. Kind of. I've had a decent-ish week. And I think the big thing that's made a difference now is that I've gone back to training for shorter distance. So my goal is a shorter distance goal, a 5K goal. And with that, because I've got a finite amount of training time, it allows me to then split my focus between resistance training and my endurance training, which is my running workouts. Whereas when I was training for the half marathon distance, the amount of time that I'd have to put into just running was kind of taking up all my training time availability. Because let's be honest, I'm not a pro athlete. Work can get busy. I've got a 3-month-old, and there's often times and a lot of times that there's a lot more things that are more important than my training. So yeah, just an interesting physiology insight. I don't think I'm less fit than I was. I think my central nervous system kind of just down-regulated because I didn't have that stimulus to create leg turnover, leg speed, ground reaction force. But now that I am lifting again, I'm feeling a little better. So I did a 5K time trial this morning, thanks to Gareth, and those are always usually vomit city, and actually didn't feel too bad after maybe a week and a bit of lifting again, going back to deadlifts, trap bar deadlifts, power cleans, really light stuff, because I think now that I'm literally on the edge of hitting 33, if I don't scale or progress my weekly reps, loads, velocities appropriately, that can also derail my training massively, where I'll have one great training session and then I can't train again for like 3-4 days. Where I think I'm learning to scale it a little bit better, so I can get 4, 5, maybe 6 if I'm doing very well, quality sessions in a week. So yeah, today's real talk, a little bit more exercise physiology insight. If you've made it to the end, well done to you. You are obviously a nerd like myself. Hope you enjoy this little change of topic slightly, and I'll chat to you again soon.